I mean, there are a lot to choose from when it comes to the Ink Rain, Ink Storm. Obviously, some of the umbrellas have it, like the umbrella weapons. Chargers have it. You can have it on basically every weapon category, but still, you don't want to overdo it with it.
Oh yeah, like I'd say one big problem, if you use too many rain clouds, the enemy team can at some point just kind of ignore them and rush you, you know. If you don't have the pressure of maybe a baller or an inkjet, then I think you can definitely, you know, just lose some pressure on the map. But I'd say having one or two rain clouds for this map will be very annoying to deal with.
What do you think? Which weapons they will choose to actually bring that Ink Storm in?
I think the three biggest ones, I'd say. The biggest one will be the Splattershot Pro. Because it only takes 170 points of turf meter to get it, and it's one of the strongest weapons right now. Using the main power up, you can end up doing 99.8 damage in 2 shots, which, you know, that 2 shots a lot of time if someone's weak, especially from your rain cloud. Another weapon will be the Umbrella, but as you mentioned, because it charges the rain cloud so quickly, and just, you know, it's a powerful main weapon. And then the last one, again, the Elita, a charger variant you talked about, because it can reach across a lot of areas on this map and charge the rain cloud very fast. So I'm expecting to watch out for all of those weapons coming out to produce the rain cloud for these teams.
Yeah, Splattershot Pro, one of these go-to weapons on nearly everything you need in your team composition. I mean, we saw it on every big tournament. I think there's not a single team that never played a Splattershot Pro in one of their big matches.
Oh yeah, Splattershot Pro is a big thing now, especially with this damage up. And of course, the other kit, the Kenza Splattershot Pro, which we might not see as much on Inkblot, but I think the other maps, that will be the dominant variation, especially because it has the Splat Bomb sub.
We talked about the Ink Storm. Why is with the... We saw that especially players that can carry a team alone, they kind of like to go splashdown. Is that still a thing?
Splashdown is interesting right now, I'd say. I think if you're using it to try and splat an opponent, it's not as strong because they can normally look up, shoot at you, and take you out very easily after they change the way it interacts online. I think Splashdown can be used well to kind of make it annoying for the objective player, and it can be used to kind of jump into your teammate and splash down. But I think if you just splash down solo, especially when weak, you will get taken out a lot.
Yeah, it's always a high risk. Obviously, you can be taken out even during actually casting it, let's say, to bring down that splashdown. That was something that really annoyed me in the beginning of Splatoon 2 when it's like, but wait, we switched to Splatoon 2 after the ESL Go 4 final of Splatoon 1.
Yes.
Then some months later, Splatoon 2 came out before we headed over to EGX, where you were still playing in, and Mako was actually in the final. And in the beginning, I thought, with Splashdown, as soon as I cast it, it's all good. You know? You just take it down, you take out the enemies. It's not going to happen. It's like, if they get you mid-air, that's it. You just pop, get splatted, you're out.
I'd say especially at this level of play, where the player's reaction times and accuracy are just so up there. They see you, they see or hear the splashdown, they turn and look at you, and you're gone. You're wiped off the face of the earth, you know? So you really need to be careful where you're casting it to make sure they can't just do that to you. You know, you don't want to make it really obvious. It also depends, you know, what type of weapon you're fighting. If it's long range and accurate, it will take you down. And now we come into Inkblot Academy, Inkblot Art Academy on zones, a Kenza Pro on both sides, not the vanilla.
Yeah, we actually dive into the first match. I quickly need to figure out who's who, because you know all the names. Just let me quickly tell you which colors is which team.
On the orange team, we see Firmament. That's the team I was talking about before that has the Rapid Blaster player, but they don't decide to bring it out for this map, which is interesting. And of course, Energetic on the blue side, which have taken the first splat, but don't have control immediately.
Yeah, we obviously play a splat zone for the first map. That's what we're seeing here. And right now, it is actually Energetic in control of the zone. They had the second push and make sure that they covered enough ground. But now they kind of need to build those lanes around it. Not just the objective itself, but make sure that they can move around it.
Yeah, if you don't have that control, people are just going to come in and get you. And as we say that, the Splash Shot Pro goes down for Energetic. Primano's just fighting here with another bucket, and he pops his ball up, but the zone has gone back in the favor of Firmament. Nice from sorry, I don't know how to say his name, but very strong Dynamo player for Firmament.
Yeah, the slosher wasn't enough to make sure that they can be in possession. So that means currently it is back to Energetic once again, if I see that correctly. Yeah, it is Firmament trying to push up Vando on top of it, but gets splatted immediately by Benny GT. Make sure there's no one sitting on top and just providing ink left and right for his team. But they need a second push to get back. It's 80 now for Firmament, and we know how quickly this can turn into a full letdown.
Yeah, this has been a very back and forth game, but now we see Energetic go down 2 players and Firmament start taking the real map control. They're pushing forwards, they have the zone, and once they start building specials, it will be hard, but Benny does take out the Dynamo Roller, and the bucket's taken down. That's 3 down to the side of Firmament, and this is going to be Energetic's push back into the splat zone.
Right now, I'm just so confused with all the French on the screen, man.
Yeah.
Next time, I would like to have it in English. Just saying. But Benny doing a good job up there with the Splash Shot Pro, making sure that no one is pushing right next to the objective. But now he gets splatted. Look at that. That's how quick it can end for him. 8-6 managing to take over that zone there. They're down to 38 now on the north, 32 on the plus side. So that will take a while.
Very nice use of the Booyah Bomb special to take him out, but he is eventually taken out by the bucket on the side of Energetic. It looks like he's just going to try and take control on the side and not get taken out, but he does. Again, this Dynamo Roller proving to be so strong for Firmament's side. It is a weapon they specialize in, and it looks like he's going to try and clear out the top and make space for his team here.
Yeah, Brazario moves up with the roller. Is obviously not really a great position, since he would need to have the enemy right in front of him to really get that damage down. It's a bit easier for the Sloshes, but we saw that also didn't help for Energetic at all, and seems like Firmament is more in control of everything that's around the map, but they tend to lose middle right now.
Yeah, I feel like, as we saw from Kargu there are some players that maybe going in a bit too fast, going a bit too out of position, and Firmament are really punishing that well. You know, when they get control, they're taking the area well, they're not going too far up, and they're making sure they have full control. But as I say that, they do go 2 down, and I believe Energetic, yeah, the Energetic are going to take control right back onto their side.
They're really not covering up, not having anyone waiting to push out. You know, back in the days, everyone played with like 2 people pushing in, the rest was just waiting and trying to provide cover fire. And right now, this seems like a blown-out, all-out fight for the splat zone.
Yeah, I think both sides are running definitely a quite aggressive comp on both sides. We don't see any, I'd say, hard backline or anchor player, apart from possibly the Dynamo, but this is a more aggressive variant. So both teams are just kind of trying to go all in, but it can be a bit risky because they have been taken out prematurely a few times. But it does look like Energetic have a big advantage here. But we'll see if Firmament can retake control.
Yeah, they only got 6 left. They do in the last second here. Obviously, the baller coming in, trying to provide a bit of ink coverage for Firmament. Obviously, they now only sit on plus 15, which will make it a bit sooner for them to turn down that count and get back into the current game. But once again, we see, look at that. Vanu is just providing all the in coverage to the left side, but Energetic is not even trying to go around there. They just go straight for the objective once again.
Yeah, and we see it's probably going to be Energetic building their specials now. I saw them build up 3, and yet Energetic have used 3 specials, 3 down on the side of Firmament, so many 3s, and they're going to take control again. It's going to be very hard for Firmament to get back in for these last few seconds. We've honestly seen Benny GT on the side of Energetic provide great value, 15 kills / assists with the Splash Shot Pro.
Yeah, you said that we will definitely see that weapon, and we actually do here. Benny GT always on the top spot. Obviously, the Splash Shot Pro provides the range to attack Firmament very early on, and now they're running down to the last seconds on their count on plus 5 right now, plus 2, and another 6 coming up now. But yeah, that's it. They're taking it. That was actually surprising.
That was, it looks like chat surprised me. They got it, and Energetic took the first game. That was pretty back and forth, quite close between both teams. I think they needed to wait a little bit for their specials. It did seem like people were dropping early, but Benny was providing great value with that pro and just taking people out before they had the chance to regroup. And we see a clip here. Kargu on the Rapid Blaster, a weapon he was known for back. Just getting good use out of the baller and making sure to stop the zone. It was a really good stall by him, I'd say.
I was just not expecting... I was thinking about them going into overtime once again, because it seemed like Firmament was building up to that. But all of a sudden, they just got stopped. It might have something to do with Bench T being on top of it.
I think one big thing is I think they got a little bit too scared, you know. They were too scared, they went in maybe a bit too fast, and they tried to get control, and they did end up going down prematurely because of that, a bit less coordinated, and Energetic kept the control to stop the overtime.
Yeah, but it is Energetic taking map number 1, so they got a hat in the best of 5 here, which is always important. We know that how important momentum can be, especially in Splatoon with all the I think back in the finals on the first European Championships, we had like an overtime by 7 or such.
Yeah.
So it was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So momentum can be super important with Energetic taking map number 1. They at least got the upper hand for now.
I do think that Firmament, knowing the players and how long they've been together, I don't think they're going to go down this easily mentality-wise, you know. I think they're going to take this loss, realize how close it was. You know, I don't think they're going to get tilted. I don't think they're going to get upset. And they're going to come back firing in this next game. Tower Control, it will be next. And it is a mode that I do personally believe they are quite strong on.
Yeah, obviously, we'll play Splat Zones, Tower Control, and Rainmaker. So the usual competitive modes.
Yep.
Nothing changed. I think, was there any tournament that was actually doing Turf War?
No. No. Well, there have been some over on the Japanese side, but over in the West, we've not played Turf War for a good while. But Clan Blitz will come in as the 4th mode if we do go to that game.
That will be an interesting one. Back then when we saw it for the first time and competitive, I loved it. I think it's a mode that just provides so much strategies that you can go for. It's super complex, a bit more on the team communication side. I mean, not saying that Splat Zone doesn't need any communication, but it seems to be a bit more straightforward.
You know, I think Splat Zones is a lot more straightforward. It's probably the most straightforward in the game. And I think Clan Blitz, it's got a lot of haters, I will say that, but I'm not one of them. I do actually enjoy the mode a lot, mainly if I'm playing with a team. Because if you're together with your team, you've got the voice chat, you can communicate with each other, then you can really get the job done. You can make sure to get as many clams in as possible, make sure to get some good pushes. Maybe it is a bit more annoying when you're not communicating and you don't have the best coordination, but as soon as you're with your team, Clan Blitz really can become a good mode.
Wondering what's the next map we will see.
Yeah, we do have the pick and ban system in place.
So
Energetic will be banning whatever map they decide they don't want to play on, and Firmament will be picking their map. And it looks like Manta Maria has actually been banned by Energetic, so we'll see what Firmament want to take it to.
I'll figure out soon. It is obviously best of 5 means if Energetic wants to take this in a straight series, they would need to win another 2 maps to progress in our tournament bracket, but I'm pretty sure that Firmament will try to stop them.
Yeah, Firmament, you know, they definitely don't want to get swept. I've seen this team before, I've casted them before, and there's been situations where they have looked down and out, but they can make comebacks and they can definitely give up, put up a good fight no matter what. So I'm not counting this team out after 1 loss, especially a close one like that.
Oh, why should you? I mean, that's because we just started the evening. I think there's no team that I would count out immediately. But
for sure.
Sometimes we saw teams starting really bad. I was wondering, was it 4D back then in Switzerland that had a really poor start? And they really were struggling to get into the tournament at all.
I believe possibly. I'm actually not too sure, but I think one example I can think of is the UK Championships this year, where my team went down 2-0 in semi-finals. You know, it looked like we were out, and then we just come back. So it's a big factor that can happen. You know, if your team stays together, you keep your heads together, which again, I think with Firmament's experience, they definitely will. They won't get themselves out yet.
All right, just waiting for confirmation of the next map we're getting.
I do believe it will be one out of the highlighted on screen, so that will be Muscle Forge
Everyone
Fitness.
Looking at this overlay like, what does this overlay tell us?
I think it will be one of them out of Muscle Forge Fitness, New Albacore Hotel, Starfish Mainstage, Snap Canal, Wahoo World, or Walleye Warehouse. So Firmament needs to pick one out of those 6 maps, and we'll see what they go with on Tower Control.
We'll see. Oh, we got at least a red outline. You might be right with the overlay. You might be right here.
It does look like we're going to be going to Starfish Main Stage Tower Control. That's an interesting pick from Firmament, but I believe it is one of the more aggressive maps, which works with their playstyle.
It has a huge center part of that map, which allows for more roaming than what we saw on the previous map. Like Implot was way smaller.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say on this map, one big thing, though you'll see people checking for it at the start of the game, both teams, is there's 2 very distinct flank areas. You know, you've got the big area in the middle where the Splat Zone would be, and the Tower Control will be sitting, and then you have 2 little flank routes around that side. So I think you'll see both teams watching out and potentially flanking, trying to get some early splats, but we'll see if any team actually goes for that or just, sits back and tries to play them out more around the middle area.
If there's anything to go by for the first map we saw, then I would say they all going head first right
Yeah.
into the tower. I mean, it's also splat zones. It's slightly different when you see
Yeah.
Rainmaker or tower control. There's way more work that is not really focused on the objective, just to make sure that your team can move around, that your team can cover, that you can actually push the objective whatever direction. While splat zone is just more direct.
And here we go. Both teams actually running without a Stingray, which is one of the more prominent specials on this mode. You see a lot of Stingrays coming out to stop the pushes, but one side will have the Booyah Bomb, but not the other, as we see AP6 just taking up the mid area, trying to put his pressure on with the Rapid Blast here.
Yeah, Firmament on purple, and it's obviously energetic on, let's say, this orange-yellow. I'm always arguing about what color that should be. It seems like Benny is actually pushing a bit already, trying to provide the next route. They got tower control right now, and they're heading onto the first checkpoint with Lion and Promate also on it. Seems like they're going hard now onto the checkpoint. They're trying to push a bit forward. You see that? They're building up a line in front of the tower to make sure that Firmament can't push against it.
Yeah, and that was a lot of early pressure from Energetic, getting some good 3 picks. And I think this push is going to be very hard to stop. I think if you don't have the Stingray special, stopping a push on tower control when they have all their specials can be hard, but Firmament do manage to take the tower back as they push back into mid here. We'll see how they try and make sure that Energetic won't get back in.
Yeah, they got obviously the first checkpoint. That's the thing already. While we see Monkey getting Calgo, an important splat here just around the objective, around the tower. They're trying to move. Obviously, we can say that once again. It is Firmament on purple and Energetic on orange, just in case you missed that, so you stay on top of the game. But it seems now Firmament, after the first push off Energetic, they regain control somehow, but now they can't move it anymore. Monk is now helping out to push it on top of the first checkpoint. That's the highlighted area right in front of him right now. Is there anyone from Energetic that can stop this?
Yeah, and now very good momentum from Firmament. We're going to see how they take it up. But it looks like it doesn't matter as soon as I say that. Kagu, I think, shooting it with, just managed to shoot with the Rapid Blaster, shoot with the Rapid Blaster at the tower over and over. Makes it very hard to continue the push. And he just managed to completely shut them down, making it hard for Wanu to get back out of spawn now as well.
Vanu on the Slosher once again, going 1-1 at the outside, but that won't really bring anything in terms of the tower. Once again, it is Energetic moving it, though. As I said, they had the first checkpoint already. They just need to get it back closer to the second. They had 43 compared to the 60 of the first push of Firmament. And we know the longer they keep it to the left right now on your overlay, the easier it will be for them in the last, one to 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, and that looks like Kagu was taken out for a bomb there, unfortunately. So that looks like it's going to be the end of Energetic's push. But as I say that, Benny and a few others actually do get the correct splats they need to take down 3 from Firmament. If they can take down AP6 on the Rapid Blaster here, then this would be huge, but they don't, unfortunately.
Finally, Lion fell on the tower. Now Promano is still on it. Benny tries to provide some cover here and making sure that they can stay on top of the tower, but he gets splatted immediately coming around the corner by Brazario from the roller. He also gets everyone on the tower, and it seems like Firmament regains control.
Very nice from Brazario. You can see how strong he can be with this dynamo when he knows what he's doing there. He took out, I think that was Benny, and then 1 or 2 from the tower as well. That was just incredible play from him. Firmament are going to be pushing up and taking mid as fast as they can now to try to meet Energetic's push to 10, which is, very, very solid.
Hey, you got Benny right next to the tower and then 2 on it. I think Lion was still on it. And I think Proman, I'm not sure right now. But now it's the chance for Firmament to finally push back. I mean, their enemy is down to 10, and they're still sitting on 60 for the last 1.5 minutes, so that's still a long way to go. They're now halfway through once again, so right in the middle of the thing, while Lion gets another splat, a double for Energetic now. Regain control right in the center, which means Firmament not even having a chance to go in the right direction.
Very strong support play from Lion. He's going to stay on tower now. He managed to get a splat on that jump and then help his teammate with that other splat on someone. The Ken's Undercover Brella is a very good weapon for assisting your teammates with its chip damage and armor, which we saw Lion doing right there. And we're going to see Benny pushing up into the court now, taking out Wanu and probably take out this Rapid here as well. Is he able to get a third? But no, his teammates do, fortunately, though.
Yeah, Benny seems to be on a roll. Obviously, they just need to hold it. They got the last 42 seconds. They're still in the lead. That might be the chance for Energetic to take map number 2 as well. Getting another split in now. the special used right on top of the tower once again. Benny is just on a roll. Look at this.
If you look at Benny and the rest of the members from Energetic, you just see how many how many splats and how much teamwork they're getting all together. I think it's gonna. It almost got into tower, and yeah, Benny got it. If we look at the score screen here, you saw Energetic got so many combined splats and assists. I believe that was 17 from Kargu, 15 or 16 from Benny. You know, Lion got a lot, which will be assists considering he's a supporting weapon. But either way, that's just, you know, crazy amounts of work from everyone on the side of Energetic.
That is true, but it seems like all that support coming in was basically coming off Benny GT's performance here. He was the one that put his team in a good place, making sure that he got the initial splat when coming into the zone once again. And then we see him here, he was also the last one to actually tap the tower and get in onto the finish, which is a nice touch to such a match. And it actually means that Energetic is leading 2-0 now in front of Firmament. And I actually thought it will be a bit closer on this one.
Yeah, I thought it would be a lot closer, but I guess Energetic just showing how dominant they are in this series. Already up 2-0. Firmament are going to need to do their best to bring this back on Rainmaker, but Energetic have really set the standard of play for what they're going to be going for in this tournament.
It was interesting to see how Firmament tried to play a bit more, let's say, on range. You saw them always trying to create half a circle around the tower and then get maybe a first splat to move in, but they never actually reached that phase of going into the tower. Besides that one initial push they had after the first push of Energetic, they never were in control of the tower at all.
Yep, and now we see the maps for Rainmaker. It looks like Firmament have completely locked out Humpback Pump Track. They don't want to play there. And we're going to see what map it looks like Energetic have banned Humpback Pump Track, and we'll have to look what Firmament are going to look to play on out of the last 7 maps.
Yeah, Humpback Pump Track, obviously, that was, I think, one of the first new maps that came to Splatoon 2 after the release. I remember that it was actually introduced during the European Championship, or during EGX, I'm not sure right now.
It was actually from release, from the start of the game, it was in the game.
You're sure?
It was one of
Humpback Pump Track? No.
Humpback Pump Track since the start of the game, one of the original,
But I remember a video about it.
I have no idea.
I'm really confused because I remember a video with the Japanese developer introducing a new map, and I think there was Humpback Pump Track because back then we discussed about how many different angles they are due to basically the shift in walls in the map.
No, I do believe the Humpback Pump Track was one of the original. That could have been a different one. I'm not quite sure, but either way,
it's an online tournament. We're not in an arena like we had been back then. So we'll just Google it right now. Give me a second.
But either way, the next map that Firmament have decided to pick is going to be Mako Mart, or Mako Mart, or Marco Mart, deciding on how you want to pronounce it, because there's 3 of them. Definitely a close quarters map. There's going to be a lot of strong play from Bizarrio here. This is a strong map for the Dynamo Roller.
Checking on Splatoon Wiki, but it's obviously only telling me about the map itself, not when it actually hit the game. Got adjusted though twice. Good to know.
I think another big reason that Firmament might decide to pick this map is it's very strong for the weapon choices that Wanu might go for. He definitely is a fan of the buckets and blasters, which are both dominant weapons on this map. So I say we'll most likely see him pick them up, but we'll have to see as we go into Rainmaker on Mako Mart coming into this game. And we do see Firmament on the side of the green team, Energetic on the side of the blue team, a Dynamo Roller, Custom Jet Squelcher, and Slosher, as I predicted, coming out from Firmament. Energetic just trying to get the mid control here as they do pop an early armor, hoping to get some splats, and they do take 2 down already for Energetic.
Once again, strong start from the team that's obviously leading 2-0 right now. Lion taking possession of the Rainmaker, trying to move the first few meters, but with Benny GT right in front of him, also Promano providing some support there. They're actually moving fast against Firmament. Like, if they not, they split him right before going up the last bit.
This has got to be demoralizing for Firmament, you know. You're already down 2-0 in the series, and Energetic have a start like this. It's going to be hard to come back, but we'll see if they can bring it back, because Energetic are looking amazing here. Already taking out early splats, and They don't want to lose their control. Kagu taking out Rosario. They're still in their spawn.
Yeah, it was not really good going like shooter against that roll. Obviously, shooter with a way longer range there was easier for Energetic to get that kill. Are they finally in control there?
And with the increased blast radius of the Rapid Blaster, they do manage to take out Rosario. He's pushing up to the Stingray with the Baller and gonna go for the pop here. Kagu's been showing how strong and dominant he can be on this weapon here, but does get taken out as he's out of position by LeMonk and Rosario.
Just because we didn't say it yet, obviously El Firmament on green, and it's Energetic, the current leader of this series, on blue. So Lion, he was the one that carried the Rainmaker that far, and he's doing it again, going up to the podium, but once again gets splitted on the last few meters. Who was that who split him?
Energetic want to end these series early. They don't want to let us watch anymore. They're going all in. They managed to get it down to 11 already within 2 minutes. And El Firmament have lost a member again. It's going to be so hard for them to get rid of the Energetic curse that's in their base right now.
Yeah, Rosario, it's not really in any position right now to provide the coverage that he would normally need to as a roller, and especially as soon as they send a shooter against him, it is not looking good for him. Now they are setting up once again. We see Lion moving in, Pramano already waiting for the last push. Obviously, they got all the time they need with the Rainmaker so far up ahead for them already.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very hard for Rosario to kind of operate against this team comp. He's a very strong player, but fighting against, I'd say, 3 or 4 weapons on the enemy team that have very long range and make it hard for him to get close, it's not going to be easy as a Dynamo roller player. As Primario is now going for a flank, though. He takes out one. Can he take out a second with his Baller?
He tried to be on the back of that roller of Rosario, but it did not work out. AP falls to Pramano once again, so definitely in 1v1s, it seems like Energetic is a bit stronger. See, we had the reset of the Rainmaker, that's why you see it on the podest in the middle once again, but is it even possible for El Firmament right now to touch it?
Yeah, I think even outside of the, pure team play that they've been displaying, Energetic are also just amazing individual players, making sure to win all their duels. They've been, getting all the splats they need, and now they're pushing up but then they still have the amazing team play to push up and get control, and two are down for our Firmament again.
Yeah, they're definitely in control of the whole matchup so far. This is map 3. They're leading already by 2, and it seems like also Rainmaker will go their way. Kagu now trying to get the roller. That didn't really help. Nope. The Baller did not finish off there. He's still getting chased, though. Look at that, but now with Benny GT at his side, that should be a bit easier.
Yeah, and Wanu does manage to take out one with his Baller, but he went too far up alone, was taken out. I think El Firmament, they really need to, in this whole situation, they need to get it together. They're going in alone too early, splitting off a bit too much, and it's just making it too easy for Energetic to play, and it's hard in this situation to get back together, but that's what they need to do right now in this moment.
Yeah, if they want to turn it around, it has to be on this map. They can't wait for another mode due to a trailing 2-0 already, which means they have to win, otherwise they're eliminated already. I mean, it's loser bracket as well, so they're going down into the loser bracket. But it will be the end on this side of the tournament bracket for them. Benny GT not as, let's say, highlighted as he was in Tower due to the different mode here and how it works, but still providing solid performance here.
Yeah, he is definitely still one of the top scorers on his team with Pramano. 14 coming out from him, and that's, as I say that goes up to 15 coming out for Benny. Honestly, just showing how strong he is on this weapon. He's already picked it up recently and already dominating the tournament with it.
Yeah, obviously a lot of different weapon styles to learn with Spot2 once again getting Presario. He just came around with a roller. I can't believe what happened to him. Benny GT picked him up immediately there. They're not even really trying to push.
Oh my God.
They're going for another one. Let me finish my sentence, Benny. They're not even really going for it.
That's the 18th for Benny in that game. El Firmament is going to be knocked out of the tournament here if they don't manage to get back in, which they don't. Energetic, they played amazing there. What can I say? They had, the first game was definitely very back and forwards. Tower control was more one-sided, and Rainmaker was just domination. Energetic showed how strong they can be in the series, especially Benny on that Splatshot Pro.
To me, it feels a bit like, not just, we talked about that the 1v1s are a bit stronger on the Energetic side, but also their positioning seems to be more on point, which is, I think, why Splat Zone was still so contested, because it was less about positioning, more about the team push happening.
Yeah, for sure. I think Energetic looked stronger throughout the series and on the other modes. They're definitely going to be a force in this tournament. They're a team they're quite new to the competitive scene right now. Oh, well, the players aren't, but the team itself has been formed recently. But they've already had some big wins over Ghost Gaming in the past, and just good results overall at tournaments. So I believe we're going to see very good stuff from them today.
Well, we're just saying, but I googled it. Humpback Pump Track. It was introduced to the game later.
Oh.
It was definitely not there from the start. Finally, I lost something about knowledge in Splatoon. I won something about knowledge in Splatoon. Yay!